come up the steps and you're like, yeah, it's pretty collapsed up here. Bam. You just come in here and you're like, wow, more caskets.
There's like 10 fucking caskets.
They're all undercover. Wow. Hey, neighbors. You think that's good enough for you? I'm gonna go film downstairs. Alright, so we're trying to access the embalming room, which apparently caught on fire. So it's behind this board. It's already somewhat screwed out, and you can see there's no door back there. So we're hoping, because we see tile too. And we walk through the entire place, and there's no embalming room. So it must be behind here. The business motto, here today, here tomorrow, here for you, was the longtime greeting of the once prosperous Cox Son Funeral Home in Jellico, Tennessee. Unfortunately, that same motto now serves as an eerie and rather foreboding premonition after a devastating fire ripped through the century-old funeral home on the afternoon of July 10th, 2024. Cox Son Funeral Home had been an integral part of the small, quiet town story since 1910, and now, after 115 years, it will only remain as a distant memory to the people of Jellico, as the funeral home was a total loss after the catastrophic blaze. Well, as the old saying goes, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And that couldn't be more true when we traveled down south to Tennessee to visit and explore this now condemned and abandoned funeral home.
Just got in this abandoned funeral home. This one caught on fire a few months ago, and it is wrecked. It's a pretty cool location. It's got everything still in here because they didn't clean it out after a fire. So what sucks is the best room to shoot, well, what probably would have been the best is the embalming room, but it's collapsed. So you can see in here, the whole ceiling collapsed. This was the embalming room. You can't even see the table or anything back there. It's just, yeah, ceiling collapse. So that sucks. But the rest of the place is still really cool. I mean, just look at this place. It smells really bad in here. But check this out. This is a gem. You don't find them like this too often. Look at this casket display room. Wow. It's hard to photograph because it's really dark in here. So you get a lot of bright light in the front of it, and then the back of the room's really dark, but again, just an incredible find. Like, you just don't find stuff like this. I mean, this is really hard to come by a funeral home like this. Even though the embalming room's not photographable.
That one's in really good shape, that tan one. Salmon one. Look at the ceiling tiles have fallen down onto the casket up there. It's crazy. It stinks in here like mold and mildew. Look at this one. This rose one's starting to rust and has like mud all over it and debris. So I'm actually standing on one of the caskets now to get this view. So I kind of wanted to show the ceiling tile and how it's like falling onto top of the caskets. Look at that. That's so cool. You can see the ceiling is just gone. These chandeliers are barely hanging. But that is cool.
Look at that headstone for a doggy. 1989 to 2001. Candy. And then we got Otis Mitchell Jr. He was in the Army. Got all different color caskets. You got the white one. Look at that bronze. Bronze or kind of copper color. And you got the silver ones here in the center. You got the blue one over there. You got a couple more blue boys here. It's another like copper one. And you got this kind of silver and it's like a grayish purple. This one's a gradient actually. See that center part's gray. Then the top and the bottom are like a purple. This one in the back has some rose details. Just a very cool casket display room. I wish I could get better photos, but I'll take what I could get out of a location like this. Here we got another plaque. Harry Edward Folk, U.S. Navy, Korea, Vietnam, 1927 to 2010. I'll go upstairs and show you that in a minute. Just walk through here. There's a couple offices.
Look at the statue still here. It's crazy. Look at all the mold. Look at that.
Oh, I just walked through a spider web and it's all over my face. Here's like the reception area. Damn dogs, man. As soon as you go near the front doors, the dogs across the street start barking. Damn snitch dogs.
Visitation room. Or family room, I don't know, gathering room. Viewing room, I don't even know. Maybe not. It's got a fireplace, you wouldn't do that. Look at the mirror and the mantle above the fireplace with that nice vase. Crazy. Like look at the cobwebbage and stuff down there. It's crazy. Like mold from the fire and the water damage from the fire department. Look at that. Alright, so come through the family room here into the chapel. Chapel's taking a beating too, with ceiling tiles down everywhere and piled up. Look at, see they're missing, and there's like holes in the roof. Like here's one. See straight up. Unfortunately, the chapel is kind of unsymmetrical. You can see like the chandeliers are not quite centered with the pews. But whatever, it's still a very, very cool spot. Especially for a random find. We happened to stop in the city, you know, just taking our time coming through these mountains and stuff, and been a slow morning. But we stopped in this town, and Fran was like, let me check if there's a funeral home in this town. And boom! Lo and behold, we stumbled across a funeral home, and this is it. This one burned. It burned while it was active, and that's what caused it to close. And now I believe the building is condemned. Here's the podium. Casket key sitting on the podium.
Look at that mold. That is really bad. I mean, we didn't even expect to get in here or expect it to be anything good, but I wish I would have worn my mask because the mold is really bad in here. Here's the front of the chapel. It's pretty much the first floor. This area that I'm in now is right across from the casket display room. So now I'll take you guys upstairs. We were about to leave without doing a video here because we got that embalming door open. I did take all the screws out. We got that open. Didn't see there was no embalming room. We were like, this is cool, but I don't know if it's really worth a video. So we finished our photos. We're like, all right, we're gonna head out of here. Then I was like, Bob, did you check upstairs? And he's like, oh, well, it's like mainly collapsed. You know, so I don't think there's really much up there. You come up the steps and you're like, yeah, it's pretty collapsed up here. Bam. You just come in here and you're like, wow. More caskets. Look at this. I mean, this is insane.
Unfortunately, it's a sunny day, so you see the sunspots coming through because of the burnt holes in the roof. But look at this. Caskets galore in this place. Black one there on the bottom and a silver one on top. Look at all the pieces of like insulation laying all over the caskets. I'm sure they'll get some insurance money for this. But we did read, although it's been a minute since the fire happened, I think not quite a year, or maybe just about a year. They said they're going to reopen, but like, look at this, dude. There's no way. Look at the electrical. And you can see into the attic over here. Crazy. You see right outside too. Look at that, pieces of the ceiling in the casket holder. This is a wood one. Couple of ones on the bottom there. This one's got a cover on it. It's so sick though. This one's still got plastic on it. And then over here, I think this would have been floral. Some wreaths here. Look at all the wreaths over here in the corner. Yeah, look at all that. That's wild. Look at that hole in the roof there. And this obviously leads back into the casket display room. So sick. Look at all the mushrooms and fungus all over the carpet from the water damage. Look at the funeral home damage. It's all burnt. Like a burial vault here. $1,000. And then look at over here. All the urns. It's crazy. There's still some on the shelves. It's pretty sweet.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more caskets. I mean, we're up to 20 caskets now. And then you turn this way. Even more caskets. 4 more.
Insulation on top of it.
Yeah.
Ceiling falling down. So sketchy with the neighbor though.
I know. So then you go through here. Look, you got all these clothes on top of the casket. This floor is so sketchy. I mean, I'm right over top of the part of the collapse. Then you come in here, you even have more caskets back here. Look at this. I want to take the covers off so I can get a photo of these.
Yeah. No. In my bag I might, or a screwdriver or something. There you go. Ta-da! Neighbors. You think that's good enough, or you? I'm gonna go film downstairs real quick. And that's going to take us to the end of today's video on the abandoned funeral home that closed after a devastating fire. We hope that everyone enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure you leave us a comment, like the video, or share the video, as this helps the channel more than you know. And don't forget, subscribe to Abandoned Central on YouTube so that you don't miss any of our newest videos. Thank you for all your support.